Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm so excited to talk to you today about Chiron in the eighth house. So, we are talking specifically about Jesus and Chiron being one. My name is Seidel Schultz, and I am a vocal intuitive and light filled astrologer. So, I can hear the soul in people's voices. I can hear your soul in your voice and what's going on with your soul through your voice. I'm also a light filled astrologer. So when I look at people's natal charts, when I look at the natal chart, I really am listening to the planets and I'm listening to hear what the planets are saying to me in general. And then when I look at your chart, I'm looking to see what the planets are saying to you and to us and how we can use that information to best help you connect to your unique and powerful sound. So we are talking about Chiron. So when I first started listening to Chiron, I heard Jesus. And that makes a lot of sense because what is Chiron? Chiron is the wounded healer. And what is Jesus? Jesus is the healer. So we're talking today specifically, I'm talking today specifically about Chiron in the eighth house. So Jesus in the eighth house. Where Chiron is in our natal chart is where we can experience Jesus on the most personal level and where we need him on the most personal level. Obviously, we need him everywhere. I need him everywhere in my life. But where we have our Chiron, that is where our greatest wounding is. And so that's where we can take him from like some guy in the scriptures who's really fantastic and, is the savior to it being a personal relationship with him. Like, how can we have this personal relationship with Jesus in our lives? And what does he bring to us in this area of our life? So, the sign and the house makes a difference. I don't know if you can hear my cat. She's like really complaining. She hasn't had enough love today. Um, but where Jesus brings us in, like what Jesus brings to us in our lives when we go to him for healing in this area of our life. So the eighth house, and I'm talking specifically here about our voice. The eighth house is so much about transformation. Now, a lot of the houses have like a list of things that they have to do with. So the eighth house is other people's assets. The eighth house is transformation. The eighth house feels very like fifth dimensional to me. And like the other side of heaven, like all these things. So all of these things could play a part in that. But I'm specifically talking today, I want to specifically focus on transformation and the eighth house being the house of transformation. And this is what Jesus is wanting to bring to us for those that have Chiron in the eighth house. So, transformation. And it's so interesting as I've done this series of Chiron in each one of the houses and what he's bringing to us. But as I was really listening to the eighth house and listening to what Chiron was saying in the eighth house, this is what I heard. As we step into allowing Jesus to be a personal part of our journey of transformation, he will bring us to the place where we can experience our sign in that area. So we'll start with Aries, and I'll just start sharing from here. Um, Aries is very direct. I've shared in so many videos about how Aries is the blowtorch, which is so great because Aries moves the body. And Aries helps move bodies, like it gets bodies into action, whether that's your body or someone else's body, but it really gets that into action. But here with Aries being in the eighth house and or I'm sorry, with Aries being in the eighth house and Chiron being in the eighth house in Aries, what we're really talking about is our ability to connect to passion and our ability to get things done from a space of passion instead of from a space of force. So sometimes when we're in the shadow side of Aries, we can be in this space, more of a space of force. instead of a space of passion. So a space of passion will naturally create movement. It naturally creates this well, fire. Passion is fire, and Aries is absolutely a fire sign, but it just creates that. And because Aries is passion and Aries is fire, it's like what happens with a train. If a train, like the little trains, if they didn't have coal, they wouldn't move. And this is the same thing. Like this is a source of energy. So for those that have Chiron in Aries, in the eighth house, this is a source of energy for your transformation and where you can get to with a place of passion in your transformation and creating transformation from a place of passion instead of creating communication from a place of force, whether that's your own personal transformation or wanting someone else to transform, because I know we all experience that because we're all human. And so we're all going to experience wanting someone else to change. But when we have Chiron in Aries in the eighth house, this is helping us connect to a place where we are passionate about our transformation. And passion really is this base of love. It's a base of love that exhilarates us and excites us and creates movement. So Cancer is very loving too, but it's loving in a totally different way. It's like loving in a very nurturing way. So let's just skip right down to Cancer since we're talking about that right now. Cancer, Chiron in Cancer gives us this ability to, oh my gosh, you know what it feels like to me is this ability to love our transformation and nurture ourselves through our transformation instead of beating ourselves up through the transformation or catering to other people through our transformation. Um, that feels so that feels so accurate because oftentimes with Chiron in whatever house it's in, it can kind of, as it's not healed, it kind of shows up in the opposite of what that sign is. And so you might be seeing that. So this is something that I haven't shared in the other videos, but it might be showing up as that. So Cancer in the eighth house is like really nurturing ourselves through transformation, nurturing other people through transformation, and just really allowing ourselves to have our feelings through that and loving through that. And that feels really good because no matter how much transformation we have gone through in our life, we will continue to go through more transformation. Okay, so that's Cancer. The next one I want to talk about is Taurus. And as I'm recording this, we are approaching Taurus season, which is so exciting. And this very grounded and abundant energy. And so what do we have? Like I just hear like an abundance of transformation. Like, how could that be bad, right? But you could see how that could be bad if you're not feeling grounded, if you're not feeling sure. One of the things that I've noticed really so much about Taurus is as fantastic as they are so fantastic. I really love Taurus. Change can be hard when they're not sitting in the lightness of who they are when they're sitting in that shadow of their sign. Change can be really difficult. And what is this house about? This house is all about change. And so, what can Jesus bring to those with Chiron in Taurus in the eighth house? Is this groundedness? Is this like Taurus can be grounded and feels calm because they feel safe. Like when they feel safe, this is what they are experiencing. So if your Chiron is in Taurus in the eighth house, one of the most important things that you can do when you're talking to Jesus and asking him for help in this transformation is saying, help me feel safe. Help me feel safe so that I can transform. If it's in Aries, help me feel the passion for this transformation that I want to experience? How can I feel passionate about it? So these are some questions that we can start asking. Okay, Gemini. Gemini, Gemini is so much fun. I'm a Gemini sun, so like no um bias here, but Gemini can be so much fun. And one of the things that I love so much about Gemini is that it bridges the gap. And so, what are we doing? Oh my gosh, what is Jesus doing in the eighth house? I am just loving this eighth house so much. Jesus is helping bridge the gap from where we're at to where we're going, right? So we have like this, and then Jesus comes in right here in the middle and he brings that bridge together. This is like a bridge, a bridge. We're gonna have like a flat bridge. Like he brings that like drawbridge, like he pulls the drawbridge down so that we can then get to the other side and have understanding as we're going through this transformation. This is what curiosity brings for us, is this ability to have understanding through like whatever it is that we are going through. I don't know about you guys, but like as I go through all these different signs and as I go through all these different houses, I'm like, man, I wish my Chiron was in this house, or man, I wish, my Chiron was in this sign. I just want to say, like, I want to speak to that because we can experience this as we focus on our own Chiron and what house it's in and what sign it is. Then we can experience the healing in that area, and that will also help us experience the healing in the houses that we're looking to have. Like, I want to see my transformation happening as it's happening. I want to experience that curiosity. I want to feel grounded and safe while I'm experiencing transformation. Like, we can have that. We can experience that as we connect to Jesus in our sign and in our house. Okay, so bridging the gap. Jesus will totally help those Geminis bridge the gap from where they're at to where they're going and help them really feel that curiosity that will create that space for bridging the gap. Okay, Leo. Leo is also another really fun sign. Leo is a fire sign. Leo is super expressive and bright and really, really shiny. Transformation typically isn't thought of as a shiny process or like I'm shining in my transformation. Transformation can sometimes be like grueling and like the refiner's fire, or oh gosh, what is it called when they make shoes like for horses? A blacksmith, like a blacksmith. That does not that does not sound like fun. It does not sound shiny or standing out beside the fire, which is really hot. But this is what Jesus gives us the ability to do when you have Leo in the eighth house, is this ability to really be expressive about your transformation. And just as I'm saying that, like, it's just hitting me so hard. What happens? Like, so many of us need the ability to see someone else go through a transformation so that we feel inspired to go through that as well. And so we have these Chiron in Leo in this place where you can really speak about your transformation and share your transformation with others. And I know so we have Mercury is all about our communication and all about these other things, but Leo is so expressive. Leo is so expressive, and Chiron in this eighth house is like really wanting us to help express our transformation and see how incredibly beautiful and wonderful our transformation is. Okay, let's move on to Virgo. Virgo is so great. Virgo Virgo is very, very detailed. Like when I hear Virgos in their voice, when they're sitting in their moon sign, I really see them in like this, like the detail. Like I hear the crispness in their voice. They are meticulous in what they're saying. They're meticulous in how they're saying it. Like Mercury what we value in communication. If your if your Mercury is in Virgo, like they just want, like, don't tell me it's 7:30 when it's 7:27. I just like want to know what the exact time is. And here we have Virgo in Chiron in the eighth house. So it's like, let's get detailed about our transformation. And also, oh my gosh, here's another so fantastic thing about Virgo. Virgo has this ability to be an oracle. So, and to like really be connected to heaven in this space, right? Because they get the details, like the details are just naturally a part of it. And I really feel like heaven, like God knows the details. God is in every detail of our lives. And so it makes sense to me that Virgo would also be an oracle, and oracle be very detailed. So as you speak, this just feels so good. Like as you speak to Jesus about your comfort, like about your transformation, specifically to these Virgos, speak to Jesus about your transformation. Speak to Jesus about what's going on in your life that you want to experience transformation in. And as you do, and I'm saying like speaking out loud, as you speak that transformation out loud, what you're wanting to experience in transformation, you will see that, and you will experience like a knowing, and you will get a download of information of the things that you need to do to experience that transformation. I just want to say, holla! Like, doesn't that sound so amazing? That sounds so amazing to me. Okay, let's move on to Libra. Libra, oh gosh, I was just explaining to someone the other day. Libra is so fantastic. One of the things I think that we like really talk about Libra, and Libra's like peaceful, and Libra feels so chill, right? And I know I've shared this in other videos. Libra, like the whole point of Libra is to get there, to get to peace. And sometimes to get to peace, you have to go through the work to get there. When Libra, like the symbol for Libra is the scales. And you don't like figure out the balance of the scales before you put the things on the scale. What you do is you put the thing on the scale, and then you see how much more you need to put on. And then you're like, oh, I need a little bit more on this side. Oh, now I need a little bit more on this side, until you get that balance. So it's a working it out. Like Libra is a working it out of the balance. And I think like as I listen to Libra, as I listen to Chiron in Libra in the eighth house, it's like this balance, right? And experiencing like what is transformation? Transformation is getting to a place where you're in alignment with your soul, and you're in balance with yourself, and with like God, or the universe, right? Jesus, like you're in balance with that. You're in this unity and this oneness with them. That to me, that's the whole point of transformation, is getting to this place where we're in alignment with ourselves, where we're in peace, we're at peace with ourselves, and unity with God. And so how beautiful is it to have Libra in that space, helping us achieve that balance, and being like, okay, and now we're going to adjust a little bit this way, and we're going to adjust a little bit this way. And so really what I'm saying is that when you're experiencing Chiron in Libra, you're asking Jesus, how can I bring a little bit more balance to this transformation? How can I experience peace as I'm going through this transformation? Like these are the things that he's ultimately wanting you to experience as you go through that. Okay, next sign is Scorpio. Scorpio is the depths, as I've talked about before. Scorpio is this magnificent, magical energy that is like, it's this magical energy that creates so much movement. So as I listen to the Scorpio energy, it's like a waterfall. And it creates this waterfall energy inside the body. So one of the things that I really love about the Scorpio energy, and when we look at transformation, we can have transformation outside of us, of course. And then there's the transformation on the inside of us. And this Chiron on the inside of us this Chiron transformation is in Scorpio is on the inside. So it creates this like really powerful transformation on the inside. And I just want to stop and say, like, um, when you have Chiron aspecting other planets, when you have Chiron aspecting other planets, it will make a difference as well on how these planets are showing up. So I will often say when a planet is conjunct, or when two planets are conjunct, what they end up doing is they end up magnifying each other. So if Chiron is conjunct to the sun, it will magnify wounds of the self in this area. If Chiron is conjunct Venus, it will magnify wounds and attraction. And so, what we can do, like as we heal our Chiron, it also heals them, then the impact and the relationship that we have with those other planets. And it just creates this beautiful synergy, not only in those things that are conjunct, but also in the things that is aspecting, like the other aspects that it has within the planets in our chart. So this is like, it's just a really big deal. Chiron is a really big deal. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about Chiron and do a whole Chiron series, is because it will impact other parts of our chart. It will impact ourselves, and we don't have to stay in our wounding. It's the wounded healer. So it's where we have our wounding, also where we can experience our greatest healing. And so what we go from experiencing this place where we want to hide in transformation, we want to escape transformation, to this place where we experience this magical movement in transformation, and where we feel like this really powerful shift inside ourselves and inside our body. So that's what Jesus is bringing to Scorpio in the eighth house. Okay, let's move on next to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is it's like it's so fun. And I was talking to a client the other day, and we were talking about Sagittarius, and I know one of the things that Sagittarius is known for is like being like really lucky, and another friend was saying like this beam of hope, like that's what they are known for. One of the reasons why, as I was talking to this woman about Sagittarius being so lucky, is because there's this head heart connection. And when you have the two combined, right, because both are so powerful, like the heart has impressive electromagnetic like in comparison to the brain, the electromagnetic waves of the heart are so much more powerful than the mind. But when we take our mind and we take our heart and we're like, this is my desire, and then we put our mind to work to get the desire, that's when we have the most power. We cannot achieve our desires, we cannot achieve our dreams when, or not very easily anyway, when the two are disconnected. And when the two are connected, that's when we have the most powerful connection in that space. No, Mia, come here, come lay down. Um, my dog, she's like, it's getting warmer, so she's like obsessed with wanting to go outside. Okay, so that's when we have like this magnetic energy, and this is why Sagittarius is so lucky, or seems to be so lucky, is because they have this head heart connection. I know I'm like, everybody go look and see what you have in Sagittarius in your chart. See if you have planets, see what house that is, because when you have that head heart alignment, that's when you're going to experience like things really flowing in that house, things really flowing with those planets. So when you have this head heart connection, it creates almost like this instantaneous manifestation. And so when you have that connection, and so this is what Jesus is bringing. So if you have Chiron in Sagittarius in the second house, in the eighth house, it can feel like this, like absolutely opposite of lucky. Just like this really unlucky, like everything is so hard, transformation is really hard. It's like every time you think you're getting somewhere, then you have like a backup, and it's like, you know, like the brakes are putting on. And so what Jesus is bringing to you in Sagittarius in the eighth house is this ability to be head heart connected and have that instantaneous transformation. That sounds incredible. That sounds like really, really incredible. Okay, we have three more signs left: Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So let's talk about Capricorn. Capricorn is this like Capricorn is so structured, and Capricorn is so success oriented. Success, like to me, when we talk about what is success to me is it's progress, it's movement, it's change, it's progression. That's what success is to me. It's that change and that progression. And Capricorn energy very much has a structure to it. So it's like, what is Jesus bringing to a Capricorn in the eighth house is a structure for transformation. Like that just feels like, boom, how powerful is that? Um, Transformation can be wildly messy. It can be messy emotionally. It can be messy physically. It can be messy mentally and spiritually. And what Jesus is bringing to those that have Capricorn in the eighth house is this ability to have a structured transformation. And that might look different for everyone. And it will look different for everyone. And so that's what we can do when we have with our Chiron is we go to Jesus and we ask him, how can I create a structure? What is my structure for transformation in my life? And it feels like this process, especially for Capricorns, that it's the same process. And then you'd be like, okay, I'm really struggling here. I need to step into my process. And then you have success. And you have that natural flow that a Capricorn is going to have, is that natural flow, that in and out energy. In with the like stepping into transformation, stepping out of transformation into the place that you are wanting to be. Right? Okay, Aquarius is next. Aquarius, Aquarius is so great because Aquarius like really takes us to where we're wanting to go, and it has this ability to be so authentic and so real about it. And there's not like uh it doesn't feel like a slowness to get there, but it also feels very calculated. Different than a Virgo, because when I hear the sound of Aquarius, it's like plugging it in, like plugging. It's a jet, right? And in a jet, the first thing that you do, you plug in the coordinates, or like when you gotta plug in the coordinates, even if you're not like putting them in the plane, because I don't know how that works exactly, but you're putting them in, like in your mind, you know where you're going, you know where you're headed. And so you take the time up front to be like, this is where I'm headed. This is where I'm going. So I just am hearing so clearly for those that have Chiron in Aquarius in the eighth house, and you're like, okay, Jesus, where are we going? What is it that we are trying to achieve? And so we go to that space and we plug those in, and then Jesus was like, okay, let's go. Like, let's get there. And typically what I see with Aquarius and what I see with like this jet is a jet isn't it's not a single person prop plane. A jet is multiple people, and this ability to be like, okay, I just went through this transformation, and now I can, even if it's just being an example to others, take others through this transformation process as well. Again, we take a look at what's going on in your natal chart. What is it aspecting? Are there aspects with Chiron in your eighth house that like is Mercury in there? And so you really are like talking about it a lot. Is Venus in there? So Venus bringing the support from outside into your world in the eighth house, into that transformation, that support from the outside. So it is this really big energy. Aquarius is. Okay, and let's finish up with Pisces. Pisces, oh man, one of the things that I just hear so much as I listen to Pisces, this is like all, on the spot here. When I listen to Pisces in the eighth house, Chiron, in the eighth house in Pisces, what I am hearing is this ability to experience the emotions through the transformation. And um, one of the things that's so like, why would you want to experience the emotions, like all the emotions through transformation? But one of the things that's crucial to experience emotions when you're in the midst of something is this ability, like the safety, but also this trust that you will get to the other side, and this trust that everything is going to be okay. It's only in that space of believing and knowing that everything is going to be okay and that you're okay, that you're allowing yourself to really experience the emotions. It's like this intuitive ability to see past the moment that you're in, but also to see depth in the moment that you're in. Isn't that beautiful? Like they see the big picture and they also see the now and how important it is to be in the feelings of right now so that you have this full and complete transformation from this depth, like this soul level, because you're connected to your feelings um, and just really connected to how deeply you feel and deeply loved you are, like, and this ability to be compassionate with yourself and with others through this transformation process. And to me, this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay, that is all the signs for the eighth house. Thanks for joining me with this video. I would love to hear if your sign or your Chiron is in the eighth house. Tell me, what sign is your Chiron in? If your Chiron is not in the eighth house, I want you to drop in the comments below. Where is your Chiron located? Do you connect? Do you resonate? If your Chiron is in the eighth house, you resonate with this. Can you feel these things in your being? Okay, like and subscribe for more videos. I've still got 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 more houses to go for the Chiron series, and then we'll begin the Venus series, which I'm so excited about. Okay, I love you. Till next time. Bye.